Hi, so this is a transition piece. If you actually look through the portfolio, it will kind of be recognized as the assessment piece. So I'm just gonna do a quick overall recap of transition pieces. They are used to join larger kind of um, shelled out objects to smaller shelled out objects, as we can see if you look at the top. This one just happens to be cylindrical to kind of squared out. Um, they're found in DCG as a subtopic of surface geometry, and surface geometry covers everything from dihedral angles through lengths, um, through shapes, etc. So the main thing to kind of focus on is transition pieces is that it's all about the angles and the true lengths, and the main part is its development. So development falls under surface geometry as well. So when it comes to transition pieces, we need to make sure that we get the true lengths of the sides, which we can kind of see highlighted up in blue there at the minute. So we have to get the true length of that to be able to translate that into our development. And in order to do that, we often have to use stuff like triangulations, etc. And there's methods so you can use the auxiliary view projection method or the re-embankment. So for that, then, there are two kind of main key areas that we have to look at. There may be some challenges that students may face is like their interest. You know, shockingly enough, I wasn't aware of transition pieces. Really, I wasn't really interested until I started looking into it, and it turns out that they're used everywhere in industry, from extraction systems in the kitchen to AC units in factories and offices. They are out in the middle of our oceans, holding up our windmills that are a part of mid-ocean wind farms, even in some exhaust systems in big vehicles. It was quite interesting once I started looking into it, and you kind of see it brings in other subjects like maths and obviously engineering and science, because shockingly enough, some science equipment has transition pieces. If you think a funnel is kind of a basic transition piece that we all kind of know about. So then kind of looking through, we have definitely going to have some difficulties grasping this, because as we know, developments are hard themselves to look at. So then when you're looking at something that is going from a very kind of rigid shape as a square to something very circular and rounded out at the bottom, it's going to be very difficult. We're going to have students second guessing themselves constantly, and they're going to also battle with the idea of the true lengths and how to use them, where to get them, which ones they're getting, which ones they're using, and following along with lines, because these drawings tend to get messy. So we just have to take that into consideration. And then also them using triangulations, which is not something they've probably used very much of before in other topics. So it's just kind of revisiting all of that and making sure that students are aware that it's okay to struggle with those things. It's us as teachers have anticipated that area being very difficult. So it's very important to remember that and take your time with those areas. And then for assessment, so I use this as my assessment model, and students just kind of had to draw that out and draw the development that you'll see in the digital portfolio. So yeah, overall I think transition pieces are very easy to grapple with once you get your head in there. Um, can be very interesting as well, depending on which way you look at them. And easy to get kind of students interested in it. It's something that they wouldn't see every day, and it gets you to bring in sections of the world we wouldn't be used to. So, as I said again, wind farms and underwater and kind of stuff and design elements and things like that that you kind of can get them interested in, and it also enables the students to have time in the class to build, model, and make these nets to help them understand what the transition piece is for, what it's used for, the ideas behind the triangulations and the true lengths. So yeah, overall that's kind of the topic in a whole. And so yeah, thank you for listening, and I hope you learn something new from the portfolio, or receive some inspiration. Thank you. And the true lens. So yeah, overall that's kind of the topic in a whole. And so yeah, thank you for listening, and I hope you learn something new from the portfolio, or receive some inspiration. Thank you.